Few figures in country music are as iconic as Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson. Along with a relationship that's endured for decades and decades of popular tunes, millions of fans have been enthralled by these two giants who have made an enduring impression on the profession. But now that Kris has passed away, Nelson has made an astounding disclosure about him, shocking his admirers. What mysteries lurk under this icon's smile? Are they meant to enhance or detract from his legacy? Explore these startling discoveries and how they affect Kris Kristofferson's legacy. Nelson's shocking and very intimate disclosure of Kris's history reveals a secret that's been kept hidden for years. But first, we must comprehend their connection before going further. Kris Kristofferson and Willie Nelson's relationship. Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson enjoy a solid and enduring friendship based on their mutual respect, collaboration, and love of music. During the outlaw country movement that opposed the Nashville sound in the late 1960s and early 1970s, these two significant players in country music rose to prominence. Their accomplishments and collaborative efforts, especially as members of the supergroup The Highwaymen with Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, further cemented their friendship. Nelson is admired for his distinct voice and adaptability, and Kristofferson, known for his thoughtful and lyrical lyrics, creatively complement each other. At first, they were drawn together by their shared appreciation of one another's ability to write authentic, actual songs. The singer gained popularity when artists like Janis Joplin and Johnny Cash covered Kristofferson's songs. Hit songs. Meanwhile, Nelson's hit songs, including Crazy, became classics in the country music genre. They worked together on several projects since they were friends and partners. In The Highwaymen, their camaraderie and musical connection are visible in well-known songs like Highwayman, but their link extended beyond music. They have the same ethos and way of living and valued independence, creativity, and personal integrity above financial success. Notwithstanding the ups and downs in their professional lives, Kristofferson and Nelson have remained close friends. Their friendship demonstrates their respect for one another's abilities and their shared exposure to the highs and lows of the music industry. Together, they've become legendary as individual performers and part of a more significant movement that changed the landscape of country music. Who is this Kris Kristofferson we hear so much about? How did his formative years go? Let's investigate. Kris Kristofferson's early life. On June 22, 1936, Kristoffer Kristofferson was born in Brownsville, Texas. Opportunity and adversity coexisted in his early life, shaping his remarkable trajectory and accomplishments. The oldest of his siblings, Kristofferson was reared by American parents Lars and Mary Ann Kristofferson, Air Force general who instilled in their kid a sense of discipline and devotion from his military background. Due to his father's military duties, Kristofferson's family moved about a lot while growing up before settling in San Mateo, California. He started his literary career at Pomona College in 1954 after he graduated from San Mateo High School. His early writings, mainly works like The Rock and Gone Are the Days, included in the Atlantic Monthly, brought him notoriety. Music inspiration. These pieces of art showcase Kristofferson's topics and concerns. The Rock depicts a rock formation that resembles a woman, while Gone Are the Days delves into a racial historical incident. Kris was a young guy who was very good at athletics and academics. He was especially good at writing and won awards for his poems and short tales, demonstrating his mental and physical prowess. During high school and college, he was recognized for his abilities as a star football player and Golden Gloves boxer while attending Pomona College in Southern California. He started a demanding summer job at 17, working for a dredge contractor in the Pacific Ocean on Wake Island. Perceived as his most challenging assignment, he said, "It was the hardest job I've ever done." Family concerns. However, Kristofferson also had challenges in his early years. At the same time, his parents were proud of his accomplishments. They were worried about his growing commitment to the arts and his desire to break away from his father's military background. After Kristofferson was awarded a coveted Rhodes Scholarship, to study literature at Oxford University in England, tensions between him and his family increased. His parents were estranged from him because of his audacious and rebellious decision to accept the scholarship and follow his creative dreams. Kristofferson's choice especially hurt his father, who saw it as a betrayal of the family's military heritage and a letdown of his hopes. The gap between father and son would grow as Kristofferson's artistic endeavors clashed more with his family's traditional beliefs. Kristofferson thrived at Oxford by concentrating on literature and honing his writing abilities despite the strife in his family. Finding his sound. He started experimenting with songs and then found inspiration in the writings of notable authors like William Blake. His early works showed his strong literary awareness and skill at writing complex, emotionally charged songs, even after they became unprofitable. After graduating from Oxford, Kristofferson found himself at another crossroads, torn between his aspirations for his work and his family's expectations. Finally, he joined the American military. He joined the Army to become a ranger and helicopter pilot, carrying on his father's legacy. Even though it contradicted his desire to pursue a literary career, this choice eventually proved crucial in shaping his personal and professional paths. Kristofferson attempted to improve his songwriting skills while serving in the military by creating a band with other troops and performing at different functions. In this setting, he became aware of music's powerful influence on fostering relationships and conveying significant concepts. This crucial finding marked a pivotal moment in his development as a creative person and opened the door for his subsequent successes as a singer and composer. Kristofferson's military career progressed despite his growing love for music, and he was finally given the prestigious opportunity to become an English teacher at West Point Academy. But he didn't take long to start making music business ripples. Kristofferson's career journey, the rise of an icon. Kris Kristofferson is a well-known music and film figure who's valued for his powerful performances and poetic gifts. His insightful and heartfelt remarks have inspired many musicians and tremendously impacted the folk and country music scenes. Kristofferson's extraordinary talent and commitment as a timeless icon endure and are respected by many generations. Early in his career, Kristofferson worked as a janitor at Nashville's Columbia Records, where he was paid to do tasks like cleaning floors and restrooms. Although it wasn't glamorous, he could make important contacts in the music business at this time because of this profession. By tenacity and commitment, he connected with icons like June Carter and Johnny Cash, who sang his songs. Before becoming well-known in the music industry, Kristofferson's life took a daring and exciting turn. For 3 years, he flew commercial helicopters for Petroleum Helicopters International, PHI, in Lafayette, Louisiana. Maintaining the balance. He often spoke about striking a balance between his responsibilities as a helicopter pilot and his pursuit of a career as a singer when thinking back on this significant transition. He worked on Louisiana oil rigs during the day and explored Nashville's music scene, bringing his tunes to the attention of music industry insiders. Piloting greatly influenced Kristofferson's music and was a significant source of inspiration. During this period, he penned his 2 most famous songs, Help Me Make It Through the Night and Me and Bobby McGee, the former written on an oil platform and the latter drawn from the colorful scenery of southern Louisiana. Kris Kristofferson sent Carter, who was close to Johnny Cash, his song so that Cash would hear it. Although he first ignored the song, Johnny Cash subsequently included it in a collection of unheard songs. As soon as Kristofferson's chopper touched down in Cash's yard after their conversation, the legendary singer saw him. To his surprise, though it's widely accepted that Kristofferson showed up with his songs in one hand and a drink in the other, he's made it clear that this portrayal was overdone. Although he assumed Johnny was probably not there, he acknowledged that his unexpected presence would be seen as intrusive, but he valued Cash's inventiveness. Cash, astonished by Kristofferson's talent despite the peculiar circumstances, released Sunday Morning Coming Down. As a result of this cooperation, Kristofferson won Songwriter of the Year at the 1970 Country Music Association Awards, solidifying his place in the music industry. Journey with Epic Records. Kris Kristofferson joined Epic Records and released the song Golden Idol, which did not do well in the charts. In 1966, Dave Dudley received enormous appreciation for his performance of the powerful ballad Vietnam Blues. Still, his music continued to be well known, mainly when other artists played it in the years that followed. Successful covers of Kristofferson's songs by performers including Roy Drusky, Billy Walker, Ray Stevens, Jerry Lee Lewis, Farron Young, and Roger Miller shot to the top of the charts, and the song swiftly gained popularity. Kristofferson's performances drew much attention, notably when Johnny Cash endorsed him at the Newport Folk Festival, solidifying his standing as a talented musician. Eventually, he got a record contract with Monument Records, headed by Fred Foster, who had overseen Kristofferson's songwriting efforts. Kristofferson mixed previously recorded and unreleased songs for his first album, published in 1970. Unexpected result. The album was a commercial failure, but it was reissued under Me and Bobby McGee in 1971 and garnered positive reviews. His songs continued to be in great demand, and well-known performers like Ray Price, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Waylon Jennings, Bobby Bare, Johnny Cash, and Sam Smith gained notoriety for their hit renditions of them in the early 1970s. When his compositions for The Good Times and Sunday Morning Coming Down were commended by the Academy of Country Music and Country Music Association in 1970, Kristofferson's status as a gifted composer was cemented. This individual received Song of the Year honors for 2 distinct songs from the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music in the same year. Me and Bobby McGee is a song that Janis Joplin recorded in 1971 for her album Pearl. The song topped the charts for many weeks. Musical success and unexpected ventures. After the song's popularity grew, several musicians found success in their versions. Renowned country music legend Kenny Rogers collaborated with the First Edition on several Kristofferson songs, including Me and Bobby McGee. In 1969 with the very successful album Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. These albums reinforced Kristofferson's reputation as a talented composer and brought out the timeless appeal of his songs. With the help of the smash song Love in Her Was Easier Than Anything I'll Ever Do Again, Kristofferson's song The Silver-Tongued Devil and I shot him to prominence in 1971. His third album, Border Lord, was published the same year he made his breakthrough in Cisco Pike. However, at first, sales were slow. Slow sales dogged Kristofferson's album Jesus Was a Capricorn in 1972, but Why Me turned into a surprise hit that propelled album sales to over 1 million and earned a gold disc from RIAA on November 8, 1973. Kristofferson then hit the big time at the Grammys, winning Country Song of the Year for Help Me Make It Through the Night. On BBC's The Old Grey Whistle Test in 1972, Kristofferson and Rita Coolidge had a riveting performance of Help Me Make It Through the Night, infused with a strong sense of chemistry. Al Green, a well-known soul singer, gave a moving performance of For Good Times that year on his album I'm Still in Love with You. Kristofferson stunned listeners with his poignant songs before abruptly stepping into acting and managing to hold the audience's attention. Kristofferson's acting career. Kristofferson's creative instincts took him to the West, where he became aware of the film business and embarked on an unusual acting career. He shifted his focus to acting, playing a range of parts in films such as Cisco Pike, starring Gene Hackman, Bloom in Love with Paul Mazursky, and Sam Peckinpah in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, resulting in collaborations that produced Bring Me the Head of Alfred Garcia and Convoy. He collaborated with Martin Scorsese on Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore and starred with Burt Reynolds in Semi-Tough, before appearing opposite Barbra Streisand in A Star is Born and earning a Golden Globe for Best Actor. Kristofferson appeared in Vigilante Force and The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with C. After Kris Kristofferson's solo music career suffered a setback after his 9th album, Shake Hands with the Devil failed to achieve commercial success despite his earlier collaborations with Barbra Streisand. At the height of his movie career, Kristofferson turned down essential roles in films like William Friedkin's Sorcerer and the war romance Hanover Street. His second TV project, the two-part film Freedom Road, which debuted in 1979, was also a failure. In Michael Cimino's epic Heaven's Gate, starring as the renowned Sheriff James Averill, Kristofferson made a dramatic comeback in the early 1980s. Making an effort. The movie was initially a financial disaster, but reviewers later gave it great reviews. Kristofferson's acting career took off after his co-starring role in the 1981 movie Rollover with Jane Fonda. In the 1986 movie The Last Days of Frank and Jesse James, he co-starred with Johnny Cash and displayed his magnetism. He starred with Keith Carradine and Laurie Springer in Trouble in Mind in 1985. He appeared in America on television for the first time in 1987. He then starred in Millennium and Fire Down Below, the later with Steven Seagal. In John Sayles' well-acclaimed 1996 film Lone Star, Kristofferson played a corrupt lawman named Sheriff Charlie Wade. The performance was so good that it earned the film a nomination for an Academy Award and Best Screenplay. Kristofferson portrayed the wise mentor Abraham Whistler in Blade in 1998 with Wesley Snipes. He then demonstrated his dancing prowess in Dance With Me with Vanessa Williams and Cheyenne. Working with other actors. He worked with Mel Gibson in the brutal revenge movie Payback in 1999. With Unexpected Delight, he debuted in the science fiction genre in 2001 with a significant role in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Having previously played Abraham Whistler in Blade 2 in 2002, he returned to the role in Blade Trinity. He had a cameo in the 2006 film Disappearances with Genevieve Bujold. He acted in the 2011 film Dolphin Tale, and in 2012 he co-starred with Dolly Parton in the musical drama Joyful Noise. In 2013, he demonstrated his acting skills by participating in the Willie Nelson and Lyle Lovett films The Motel Life and Angels Sing. Kristofferson had a stormy romantic life filled with strong bonds and difficult separations as he navigated the highs and lows of celebrity. Still, he never wavered in his quest for love. Tumultuous journey of love. Kris Kristofferson experienced love and tragedy in his perplexing personal life, populated with alluring ladies of the day. After graduating from Oxford University in 1960, Kristofferson wed his high school sweetheart, Frances Beer. In an interview with Rolling Stone from 1974, Kristofferson discussed the partnership, stating, "We thought we could solve each other's problems. We tied the knot, she got pregnant, my finished book was turned down, and I had to support us financially." As Kristofferson's family grew, his sense of responsibility grew as well. Their daughter Tracy was born in 1962, followed by the arrival of their son, Kris Jr., 6 years later. Kristofferson courageously joined the Army in 1965 to provide for his family and landed a teaching position at West Point. Before beginning his work, he took an essential trip to Nashville to visit a friend. The vibrant music scene in the city sparked his enthusiasm for his enduring goal of becoming an accomplished songwriter, a dream he had yet to realize. Little did Kristofferson know that this visit would mark the beginning of a fantastic adventure about to unfold. A new path. With newfound resolve, Kristofferson relocated his family to Nashville and took on a janitorial job at Columbia Records to provide for them economically. This brave choice, driven by his passion for music, involved making significant sacrifices, like accepting a substantial salary cut. Beer naturally felt worried about their finances, particularly following the birth of their son Kris Jr., who had health issues resulting in $10,000 in medical bills. The couple's relationship grew tense, leading to their breakup in 1969. In the late 1960s, as Kristofferson made a name for himself as a songwriter in Nashville, he briefly dated the legendary singer-songwriter Janis Joplin. Their passionate yet short-lived romance ended with Joplin's tragic death in October 1970 at the age of 27. Kristofferson and Joplin were acquainted through their mutual friend Bobby Newworth in the spring of 1970. Newworth suggested they go to California together, and Kristofferson ultimately opted to remain with Joplin at her home in Larkspur for a couple of weeks. A romantic relationship began during this period. Kristofferson suggested to Joplin that she record Me and Bobby McGee, a song she loved. Unexpected surprise. Joplin recorded the song just before she died for her album Pearl. Kristofferson was unaware that Joplin had recorded the music until the producer played it for him the day after her death. Kristofferson found it very difficult to handle listening to her emotional performance, which led him to break down. He's gone on to admire Joplin's skills and enthusiasm, declaring his admiration for the excitement, emotion, and spirit she poured into everything she did. He described her as a powerful natural force and recognized her contribution to the song's success. Joplin's only single to top the charts was Me and Bobby McGee, which came out posthumously. As Kristofferson continued to achieve success in the early 1970s, he met and fell in love with singer Rita Coolidge. Their connection was harmonious and coordinated, whether they were on stage or not. Coolidge declared in 2016 that she thought it was love at first sight upon meeting him. During their flight to Memphis, they conversed nonstop. In 1973, they tied the knot and welcomed their daughter, Casey, the following year. His works. The album Full Moon was well received and resulted in multiple Grammy nominations. In 1979, Kristofferson embarked on a musical journey to Havana, Cuba, where he participated in the famous Havana Jam Festival with other leading artists. Kristofferson performed with Coolidge, Stephen Stills, and several Cuban and American artists at Havana Jam 79 from March 2nd to 4th, creating a lasting impression. In the same year, Kristofferson and Coolidge later showcased their unique blend of country and rock on The Muppet Show on November 18th. In a captivating and memorable performance, Kristofferson performed Help Me Make It Through the Night with Miss Piggy. At the same time, Coolidge sang We're All Alone and was accompanied by a collection of forest creatures. Afterward, the duo joined forces with the Muppet Monsters on an energetic rendition of A Song I Want to Perform, leaving a lasting impression on the audience of the broadcast. The turbulence. Despite their successful careers, the couple's marriage became increasingly turbulent because of issues with substances and clashes over their artwork. In 1980, they decided to end their marriage after being together for 7 years. Despite their breakup, Coolidge still holds Kristofferson dear in her heart. Paying a heartfelt tribute to People magazine, she stated that their bond was unbreakable, rooted in unique humor and comprehension beyond conventional understanding. Coolidge noted that their connection is beyond understanding. In her book, Delta Lady, Coolidge touched on the difficulties in their marriage, clarifying in an Irish Times interview that demonizing Kristofferson was never her intention. Instead, she tried to share her experiences without any negative feelings or resentment. Kristofferson promptly moved forward. Finding love. In 1983, he married attorney Lisa Myers, a relationship that's been the most stable and enduring in his life. Altogether, they have 5 children: Jesse, Jody, Johnny, Kelly, and Blake, born between 1984 and 1994. The family splits their time between Malibu, California, and Maui, Hawaii. Myers is known for assisting Kristofferson in transforming his life and career after struggling with depression and alcoholism for years. She has continuously stood by his side, collaborating on songs and joining him on tours. Kristofferson's longest and most successful marriage has endured for nearly 40 years. However, Kristofferson faced a more challenging obstacle. He needed to fight against a mysterious illness to survive. Illness. Throughout his extensive and celebrated career, Kris Kristofferson, the renowned musician and actor, has encountered numerous significant health challenges. As he grew older, his health issues became increasingly apparent, with several incorrect diagnoses and a prolonged struggle to identify the source of his disabling symptoms. Beginning in the late 2000s, Kristofferson experienced memory loss and cognitive difficulties. Worried about these alterations, his medical team determined he had Alzheimer's disease in 2013. Kristofferson and his family were completely surprised by the diagnosis. As Alzheimer's is a progressive neurological disorder that permanently impairs memory and cognitive abilities, Kristofferson was treated for a suspected Alzheimer's condition for many years, undergoing various medications and therapies to alleviate his symptoms. However, his condition did not improve significantly, leading his wife, Lisa Myers, to suspect that there might be another cause for his health issues. Root cause. In 2016, Myers opted to seek a second doctor's opinion regarding Kristofferson's ailments following years of uncertainty. The newly assigned doctor thoroughly assessed Kristofferson's symptoms and recommended various tests, including one for Lyme disease. Kristofferson and his family were taken aback to discover that the test results indicated Lyme disease rather than Alzheimer's, which they had initially thought. Myers believed that Kristofferson may have contracted Lyme disease 14 to 30 years prior, likely during the filming of Disappearances in the Vermont woods in 2006. In an interview with Lyme Times, Myers mentioned that, in retrospect, the diagnosis of fibromyalgia should have led to testing for Lyme disease. His persistent muscle spasms, which are commonly associated with Lyme disease, indicate that he may have been infected with the illness for a duration ranging from 14 to 30 years. Following his diagnosis, he underwent various treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy (HBO) and transcranial magnetic stimulation (TMS), targeting the frontal lobe of his brain. Furthermore, he received muscle injections of antibiotics in addition to taking doxycycline. Recovery. According to Closer Weekly, his friend and fellow songwriter Chris Gantry also showed his support, describing the singer's recovery as miraculous, likening it to Lazarus being resurrected. Over the past 6 years, it became increasingly clear that once medical professionals ruled out Alzheimer's disease, there was a noticeable change in his health. Kristofferson's memory loss and cognitive problems, which had been present for almost a decade, began to get better, allowing him to restore much of his former mental acuity and vitality. In 2016, a close friend informed Closer that Kris is as mentally sharp as he was 2 decades ago, and his wife Lisa, along with their 8 children, now observes a different side of Kris. Myers emphasized that it's a remarkable achievement in modern medicine, mentioning that he'd been prescribed numerous substances for conditions he didn't have, each with their set of side effects. Following a diagnosis of Lyme disease and receiving the appropriate treatment from doctors. Making amends. Myers saw a significant improvement in his health. He said that he looks entirely well on some days, occasionally leading to his health problems being overlooked. Unaware that he was running out of time, Kristofferson had a newfound sense of peace and reflection on his condition improved, and the burden of the unknown was removed. After years of touring and performing, the legendary singer-songwriter and actor decided to take a break from his career in music and film in January 2021. A close friend revealed that Kristofferson was no longer prepared for the demands of touring and was focused on simplifying his family's life by turning his assets into cash. As Kris Kristofferson approached his 87th birthday, he talked more openly about the realities of aging and was finally ready to share some of the challenges he faced later in life. He was worried about potential health issues and aging, so he made plans to ensure his family would be taken care of even in his absence. Regrettably, Kristofferson passed away at his Maui home on September 28, 2024, at age 88. His legacy. Thinking about the impact he left behind, Kristofferson expressed genuine gratitude for his lived experiences and the songs he had created. He remained humble, understanding that his journey required determination, decisiveness, and unwavering commitment to his job. His music profoundly affected millions and inspired generations of artists, proving that art can transcend time and deeply connect with the human experience. Although Kristofferson did not prioritize wealth or fame as his primary motivations, his successful endeavors in music and acting led to significant financial success. His estimated net worth was approximately $50 million, showing his work has lasting success and broad appeal. Despite his wealth, Kristofferson discovered greater worth in the emotional and spiritual fulfillment he gained from knowing that his songs significantly affected others. Success, in his eyes, did not revolve around wealth or recognition, but rather the connection and affection he had built with his fans. Even though he stopped performing, Kristofferson still took comfort in knowing that his songs would continue to be meaningful to audiences and keep his voice and artistic vision alive even after he was gone. Even after his peaceful passing, Kris Kristofferson remained prominent in music. After his passing, his close friend Willie Nelson revealed some shocking news. What could this be? Willie Nelson's shocking revelation about Kris Kristofferson. In an interview, Willie Nelson made an unusually personal revelation about Kris Kristofferson, calling him one of the greatest songwriters in history. Contemplating songwriting icons such as Merle Haggard and Hank Williams stressed Kristofferson's vast impact on country music. In addition to Billy Joe Shaver, Nelson included Kristofferson in a respected category of musicians who influenced the genre. Nelson's respect for Kristofferson stems from their enduring friendship and mutual involvement in the music business. Both musicians are recognized for their exceptional talent in expressing genuine feelings through their music, setting them apart in the industry. Nelson, known for creating timeless classics like Crazy, originally titled Stupid, acknowledged Kristofferson's influential contributions. During the conversation, Nelson, modest about his achievements, mentioned that although songs such as Crazy and Funny How Time Slips Away are considered classics, the music of artists like Kristofferson still serves as a source of inspiration for him and others. The mutual respect of these two legends highlights the deep connections forged over many years of making music that continues to touch generations. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon